Hello and welcome. In this interview, we're going to be talking about online entrepreneurship. And my name is Kudakwashe tshuma, and my mission is very simple. My mission is just to create success partners with whom I'll share the knowledge that has actually changed my life, especially in the internet space, and a lot of things is happening on the internet and a lot of people are profiting from it. So, like I said, my mission is just to share the knowledge that I've actually gained in the previous years. So, I'm actually going to be interviewing a gentleman that I respect so much. But before I actually um, I actually welcome the guest for today. I just want to tell you the reason why I decided to actually call him on the call and ask him a few questions about online entrepreneurship. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to head over to my email inbox and I'm actually going to go into my inbox and I'm actually going to check for his name. Okay. I'm actually going to type in his name right there. Okay. Let me just use the surname. Okay, this is actually my email inbox. As you can see, I've been receiving quite a lot of emails from him, and I opened this email, which was actually written very professionally. And this actually tempted me to look at his website. Okay, and this is what his website looks like. It's called yourvarsity.com. And when I came to the website, there was this nice button which is actually said someone can actually get started for free and some courses that he is offering on his website. So, this actually got me thinking the way the website is actually laid out. And I actually went to his Facebook. I scrolled down here to check his social media, and I actually saw that he has been hosting some seminars. I actually saw this picture. He's been hosting some seminars, so I was like, "Oh, this is the other one of me." And I decided to ask him a few questions about yourvarsity.com and what he's up to. And let me just get back to my slides again. So let me welcome to the call Marshall Malaba. Welcome to the call, sir.
Hey, Kuda, thanks so much for inviting me and allowing me to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you very much for sparing some time. So, Marshall Malaba is running a website that is called yourvarsity.com, which I've been explaining in the work that he's actually doing. He is a Zimbabwean. I'm also a Zimbabwean. And I'm actually moved by the work that he has been doing, and I've been looking at what he's been doing for the past. I don't know how many years, and I've been receiving. I have subscribed to his email list. I've been getting emails from him as well. So, um, let me not talk much because he's going to be the one who's going to be talking a lot in this interview. Now, Marshall, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, besides your varsity, who you are, so that our listeners can actually get to know you better?
All right, thanks, Kuda. Well, basically, like you mentioned, I'm a Zimbabwean, 31 years old, currently single, starting to really enjoy my life and the direction that it's taking, mainly because of the work that I do online. Just an ordinary young man like any other who grew up in Zimbabwe, facing the same challenges that we're facing on a day-to-day basis. But I've kind of found something that's now working. And for the first time in my life, I can say I'm really excited about the future. That's a brief summary about me.
Oh, okay. You said you're single, but you didn't mention that you're searching. No, I'm just.
No. I'm not searching at the moment. Why? Because I found a way to make money. So I now can, all those dreams that we used to have when we were teenagers and small boys. Now I can actually leave those before I start worrying marriage. So I'm not searching at the moment.
If you found a way to make money, then you need to find a way to spend money, eh? No, I'm just joking. So let's just head over to the to the next question. My next question for you is can you tell us a little bit of how you got started with yourvarsity.com? what was your inspiration behind creating the website and all? Yeah.
Okay. The way I came to found your varsity is quite interesting. A couple of years ago, when I finished my high school and I was now doing my university, I had the challenge of money. My parents couldn't afford to further help me further my studies, so I actually had to drop out of university after about 1 year. So I had to become an entrepreneur quickly because there were no jobs. So luckily, I had a friend who was selling computers, and I teamed up with him. I was mainly focusing on the sales, and we started running his business together. And yeah, we made a bit of money. He later on moved to Harare because he got a good job offer there, and I was left with the business. And the first challenge I was facing as a young entrepreneur was money for marketing. There were people who needed our services. We were selling and repairing computers, but I didn't have the money for marketing. So I tried to find what could help me to get people's attention and get people to know about what I was doing. So I then discovered this thing called social media that seemed to be the in thing at the moment. And so I did all the best I could. I'd go to YouTube, I'd get into blogs, anything I could to find information about social media marketing. And I grew my knowledge and it helped me to grow the business I was running. Somewhere along the line, someone came to me and said, "Hey, man, you're good at social media. Why don't you teach other people how to do the same thing? Or why don't you do it for other businesses?" And then I realized the business opportunity there. And then I started doing it. I made a bit more money than I was doing selling computers. But it was a lot of hard work because I was the only person who was doing it, and I could only attend to one person at a time. So I went to one man who was a mentor to me, and I told him my problem. And he actually said to me, "Why don't you actually create a website where you can teach multiple people at the same time how to do social media marketing?" And that's exactly where your varsity started.
Oh, okay.
With the idea that, hey, why don't I actually create a course about this thing and teach multiple people at the same time?
Absolutely, that's really interesting. Now, you've spoken about how you got started. It's kind of a journey and leading from one thing to another. And it looks like you've found a home which you call your varsity, which you're actually helping people to learn social media management. Now, I want to ask you my next question is my next question for you is now tell me, you've explained how you started, and tell me about what your varsity offers. I know you've explained that you moved from selling computers to selling them on the internet, and you became very good at selling on the internet, and you created a course on how to sell on social media. Now, can you go deep into what your varsity offers, your varsity.com, what your website offers?
Okay. Basically, in my journey, I realized that a lot of people were like me. A lot of people are just clueless about the internet and how to use it to grow a business. So basically, it's a learning platform for mainly entrepreneurs. Actually, our mission is to help entrepreneurs to start, launch, and run successful online businesses. So it's just a platform where an entrepreneur can come and learn anything to do with entrepreneurship online. If you want to learn how to do Facebook ads or do Google ads or learn how to create a website or anything to do with online, it's just a platform for entrepreneurs to come and learn. We've got free courses and we've got paid for courses.
Well,
that's what we do.
Okay, I see. Now, were you an overnight success? I think you explained some of the things that you've done before, and tell me the transformation part. Was it an overnight success, or you had to work for it?
That's a very good question, because a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that there's such a thing as an overnight success. That doesn't exist. And to answer you briefly, no, I was not an overnight success. It actually took me, I think, 9 months to actually make my first sale online. and to become consistently make 13 months after I had started. So it was a bit of a journey. It did not happen overnight. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There was a lot of discouragement, but because I was able to stick with it, I started making money from it.
Absolutely. Now, what sort of you explained some of the roadblocks you've explained, like sleepless nights and all that. So, what sort of roadblocks did you face in the early stages? You know, in the previous question that you've answered, you said that a lot of people think that you make money overnight, and you're actually starting. Okay, let me say it this way: in Zimbabwe, or generally on a world scale, when people look at the internet, they don't look at it in terms of income basis. They look at it as spending time there and not getting income. And some of the people, they look at it at a perspective of scams and losing money and all that. But you've become one of the few people that are using the internet to earn money. What sort of roadblocks did you face when you were actually getting started? Maybe if you could give one or two and how you've managed to overcome them.
Okay. The first roadblock I faced obviously was knowledge on how to do this. When I wanted to learn how to make money online or how to grow a business online, the first thing I did was to do a Google search, and I found millions, in fact, billions of results. So, and there was no one I could talk to. So that's the first challenge that I was facing, because there was too much information on the internet, and a lot of it was scams. But the way that I overcame that was mainly with patience. I learned to find people who were consistently talking about one topic, and they seemed to have a good track record. I would read reviews on YouTube and stuff like that. So I started learning from very specific people, and not just anyone who had a blog or a video about building an online business or making money online. The other challenge I faced was actually internet access, because we are in Zimbabwe and internet was a bit expensive at that time. Luckily for me, there was this organization I discovered, which falls under USAID. What they did is that they set up a place called American Space in town, where it's for students and entrepreneurs just to come in there and use the internet access in their desks in the environment just for free. And for a couple of months, maybe about 8-9 months, I would be there every single day using their Wi-Fi for free, until I actually started making money and then could afford to set up my own space at my own house with my own Wi-Fi, and that's what I use now. So those are some of the challenges. There are many other ones, but maybe just to make it a bit short, I'll talk about those two for now.
Okay, thank you very much. That was great. Now, tell me about your first major breakthrough. You know, when I understand that you had some challenges when you're actually getting started. What was your wow moment? Like, really, this works. It could be in form of maybe making your first sale, setting up your own website, something that motivated you from inside to say, I really need to move forward. What was your first major breakthrough?
Okay. My first major breakthrough was this one time when I was speaking to my mentor, and we're just sharing the idea of university. And then he actually gave me an opportunity, invited me to come and do a talk with some of his friends. Little did I know that these friends were actually some executives from some highly reputable companies in my city, in Malaba. So I think there were about between 10 and 15, I don't remember. So what I went and did at that presentation, and I was just basically talking about university, what we want to do, and one of the courses that we have on offer. So what really, really made me wake up was we had one course which was going for $30 US. And so after I pitched about the course, before I even finished, most of them started asking me, okay, how do I sign up for the course? Can I sign up for it now? Can I eco cash you? Can I do a bank transfer? And I was charging in US dollars. Some of them paid there and then. Some of them we agreed to meet later on. I walked out of that room with 300 US dollars. It was a shock of my life. I really didn't know what I had. I was selling $30 courses. I sold 10 that particular day in US dollars. And it just blew me away because that's more money than I had made in months. In one occasion, I think I spoke for like 15 minutes and I walked out with 300 US dollars. That just totally changed my life.
Yeah, indeed. It is a great experience, I must say. Now, we have a lot of people I talk to a lot of people that are looking through the fence. Okay, like you're saying, at one point you have been following others who were talking on a certain topic, and at this moment, especially in Zimbabwe, we have a lot of people that are looking through the fence and saying, you know what, does really this online thing really works? I don't understand. It doesn't work. Let me just focus on getting a job. And maybe 5 years later, they will come back again and look through the fence and ask themselves, does this online thing, they're continuously watching through the fence, but getting started, they just don't. Okay. What would you say to someone like that?
Okay, especially to people in the Zim environment, I think our economy has taught us that there is no one size fits all solution. That mantra of saying that go to school, study hard, and you'll get a good job, Zimbabwe has proved to us that it doesn't work because there are no jobs out there. So when it comes to this online thing, my best advice is just jump into it and start. And when you start, give it your whole heart. Make up your mind that it's do or die. There's no other option. I'm going to make this thing work no matter what. That's the attitude that you need to have when you jump into this thing. Because let me tell you, when you listen to people like me or Kuda or someone else who's actually making money, we make this thing really, really sound simple. And it is simple once you build momentum and you know what you're doing. But when you're starting, it looks difficult, it looks hard, and it looks like it might not work, but it does work. All you have to do is be very consistent with it, be committed with it, and there is no telling. There's no telling what you can do with this thing. Let me tell you, online, doing business online, it's a game changer. It's a life changer. I can just give a personal testimony. I remember a couple of years back, I was so much in debt, and I didn't even know what exactly I could do to cover those debts. I'm now at a point in my life where I don't worry about debts. I don't worry about paying rent or buying food because I'm making enough money to cover all my expenses. That's where I am at in my life. And it only came because of that commitment to this thing. It works.
Absolutely.
Jump in.
Yeah. So now, what sort of education does someone needs to take? We live in a world where, some other people would say, I may need to get a college degree or university degree so that I can start this online thing. And are there any education qualification that someone needs to start? Yeah.
The only qualification that you need, or maybe let me say, there are two basic ones that you need. The first one is you have to have a desire to learn this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing that you have. The second one is just internet access. You don't need O levels, you don't need A levels. Anyone can make money online as long as they've got an internet connection and they make up their mind that this thing is going to work. That's all that you need.
Absolutely.
And like for us at university, we offer training, and I know Kuda, you offer training also. There are people that you can easily follow and learn from, organizations that teach you this stuff. So it's just choosing how exactly do you want to go about it.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk of age groups. Who should pay particular attention to online entrepreneurship because they stand to benefit? We have got the elderly people, we have got the youth, we have got the kids as well. Like recently, I've been looking at the changes that Zimbabwe is making, whereby I've got my young brother who is actually doing, who is in Form 1. I think he's about 13 years of age. And at their school, they were asked to bring laptops. And I've been thinking to myself, wait a second. I was at school and I started being on my first computer at the age of 18. And I'm looking at it now and where the youngsters are being introduced to computers at the early stages. So now let's talk of the age groups, those that tends to benefit a lot from this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I've got two answers to that. I think the younger generation will adopt this quicker than the older generation because we have grown up with smartphones, we've grown up with laptops, so it's easier for especially like Form 1 students, like you're mentioning, or a bit older. It's easier for those to easily adopt, and I would highly recommend that you start from a young age, from even 12 years or even possibly younger. Why? Because this thing takes you to just understand it, gain momentum, and then it starts working for you. And the more exposure you have to it, the better it will work for you. But also, even the older generation, it's not limited to say that this is only for young people. It's for anyone who is not happy about their life and they want to make better their life. As long as I keep mentioning, as long as you have got that desire to learn this thing work, it's going to work for you.
Absolutely.
Even if you are 60 years old or 70 years old, you've got internet access and you want to make your life better, this can work for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know you have mentioned about some sort of challenges you had in terms of internet. You being a Zimbabwean, again, you spoke about the economic challenges right now in Zimbabwe. And maybe just if you can add on one or two questions, you being a Zimbabwean, what sort of challenges did you face uh, just by setting up your website? Okay, I've seen your website and I've seen that everything is automated. You ask for payment online, which is really a great achievement. Just setting up that website and adding the automation tools and making sure that you are talking to your clients while you are sleeping, and you wake up in the morning to see that someone has visited my website and all that. You being a Zimbabwean, what sorts of challenges do you face? And what sort of challenges did you face? Yeah, maybe if you just mention one or two.
Okay, yeah. Like what I mentioned, the first one was the internet access. It's not as easy to get access to the internet. I think most service providers are now better. Like for myself, I use Tel1. It's quite good, but when I was starting, it was expensive. But now I can afford it. Once you get your good internet connection, you are good to go. Then the other major challenge, which I'm still facing at the moment, but I found ways to go around it, is our banking system. At the moment, our banking system does not do too well, especially with online payments. Currently, I'm using FPC and I'm using Stuart Bank. There are other platforms which I use, like PayPal. I use Payoneer. They don't integrate very well with our local banking system. So there's always has to be something that you have to do in order for you to get your money. And let's say, for example, you make a sale and you get up for $1,000. You will not easily access it if it just goes in straight into a banking system. Right now there's a shortage of currency. Yeah, they might not give you your money there and then. But the advantage is that you can store your money online, which means that you can either use Swipe, you can withdraw your money even locally, but maybe not in amounts like withdrawing maybe $1,000 or $10,000. But all the same, you still get your money online. You can make as much as you want. It's just about how exactly do you withdraw it locally, where some of the challenges are.
Absolutely, I get it. Now, we're almost coming to the end of our interview, and I want to ask you this question: what are your final thoughts that can help other entrepreneurs that are getting started to take their online entrepreneurship to the next level, like you have done?
Okay, maybe I can just give two things which I think are very important. The first one is finding the right model, finding someone who is actually doing well in this thing and then following them. That's the easiest way to success. I mentioned that if you do a Google search and say how to make money online, I did one actually yesterday. I found about 6 billion results. If you try and learn by yourself online, there's too much information. So you'd rather find someone who's actually succeeding online and then learn from them. If you can actually meet and talk with them, it can help, right? So they will give you tips, your advice on how to start. And then as you are working with that person and learning from them, what you want to do is you want to develop a blueprint or a plan of action. Because this thing is all about consistency. It's not about wishing and praying, but you have to be consistent in very specific actions. So find someone to follow and learn from and write down what they tell you. What actions are you supposed to be taking? And then you come up with your blueprint and do it every single day. And after a while, you start achieving success.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. That really makes so much sense. So now, if you have 2 tips for our listeners that you can just give as a giveaway, what would that be? So something that you don't really share with the public, and I'm asking you to do that just now. Anything, this is not actually a question that I'm actually directing, like, can you tell us about this, but I'm just saying anything that you can share freely that you hardly share with the public.
Okay. I would say just start. I think one of our greatest limits or limitations is that we always want to have all the answers, but all you need to do is just start. Find a way that seems to be working and just go for it. Give it everything. You gather the resources and the tools and the knowledge as you go. Because the more you try and be perfect, the more you wait until, no, let me try and do that course first. Let me try and do this and try and do that. Time is moving. And this thing it's all about the time game. It's all about getting into it, practicing as you go, learning, developing until you find what actually works for you. So my number one tip there is just start.
Yeah.
Stop making too many excuses and just start. Just go for it. I think that's what I say for now. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Marshall, for being on this call. And my last question is: you have a website that is called yourvarsity.com, and you're offering a number of things there. In case I didn't ask you a specific question, and someone may be asking, "Oh, you should have asked this question," and would you allow people to get in touch with you if they have more questions to ask?
Yes, definitely. Most definitely.
And if yes,
feel free to.
How can they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm available on most social media platforms. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or maybe you can just catch me on my email, which is marshall@yourvarsity.com. So that's Marshall with double L.
Okay.
At yourvarsity.com. On Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, just search for Marshall Malaba or just search for Yourvarsity.
Oh, just let me just go ahead over to the website and okay. So this is the website that Marshall is talking about. It's called yourvarsity.com. So Yourvarsity is YOVARSITY.com, and he's got a number of things there. So I see on your website, maybe this is another question again, you have an affiliate system whereby you are rewarding people for sharing your information. Can you just touch on briefly about that?
Okay. Well, basically what happens is one of the things that we teach about making money online is selling other people's products. So we've got a course where we actually teach you how to do that. Rather than creating your own product, you sell other people's products and then you actually get a commission for it. And so we're leading by example by giving anyone that opportunity to do so. If you come to Yourvarsity, you like a particular course and maybe you want to tell someone about it, we will pay you a commission if that person you tell buys the course.
Okay.
For example, if we've got a $100 course, we're offering a 30% commission. We'll give you $30 if you can refer someone who will pay that $100.
Absolutely.
So all you do is just click on the become an affiliate link there and all the details will be there.
Okay, absolutely. Anyway, thank you very much, Marshall, for being on this call. I really appreciate your time, and I hope this is going to help people. Thank you very much for being on the call.
It was a pleasure, Kuda. Thank you so much.
Okay, so with that being said, to our listeners, thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to hearing your feedback